I just got back from the Chanel boutique and they had the new summer 2025 collection, and I picked up some things and I'm so excited to share them with you. So a strange thing happened where I realized that I have a Chanel boutique, like a Chanel beauty boutique close to me. I never had any idea that these existed until somebody in the comments of one of my videos was like, you should go to the Chanel boutique and swatch some things and play in the store. And I was like, what? Sure enough, there's one very close to my house. So anyway, I called to see if they had the new summer collection, the Utopia palette and the Camellia blush, the Futura collection. And they did. I just got back. I went with no eyeshadow, no blush. I do have a lip product on, which I'm going to talk about. I went and picked some things up. I'm going to show you what I got, and we are going to play in this makeup. It is so beautiful. So let's get right into it. So first I want to say that I have never been to a Chanel boutique. I either order Chanel products from Chanel.com or I will get them at Ulta because I have an Ulta very close to me also. And they carry Chanel. It's not the same experience though. It's not the same experience buying things from Ulta or ordering from the Ulta website. But I do love that I have that option so close to me. But I went into the boutique and it was such a nice experience. The employees were wonderful. They were so helpful, so kind, very accommodating, and I got some free samples. They were like, can we get you any free samples? It was a great experience. So I just wanted to mention that. You probably know more than I do if you have a Chanel boutique, but like I did not know. I told the sales associate, I was like, I come here all the time and never knew this was here. Like just walked right past it to go to this. It's right next to the Sephora. Okay, so you get a beautiful little shopping bag. They tie it with the bow. I just thought that was such a cute little touch. They had everything in stock. So I didn't pick up the entire collection because some of the things just didn't really appeal to me. We're going to get into it. I'm going to show you what I did get. The things that I picked up are the Camellia Futura limited edition blush trio. This looks absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to open it up and look at it. I mean, I saw it in the store, but to see mine, hopefully nothing's broken. I haven't even looked to make sure that nothing's broken. I'm sure it's not. And then I got the Utopia palette, number 387 Utopia. This palette, you know, seeing the photos of it online, had no desire to get it, but then I saw everybody putting it on their eyes and I was like, yeah, I need that. I need that. So I got that. They wrap everything so nice. It's just such a nice experience. I also picked up one of the eyeliner eyeshadow kohl's. I got the shade Mauve Chrome. The associate in the store had this all over her eyes with the duochrome from the palette on top of it. And I was like, ma'am, you look stunning. I have to have that. I'm so excited that I can't speak properly. I picked up the Ultra Wear Liquid Lip Color in Pink Nude. This shade looked beautiful. It looks lovely. So let's open these up and get into them. We're going to start with the blush. Comes in this beautiful velvet pouch. And let's open her up and take a look. Oh, it's fingerprint free for now. I won't stay that way. And then here is the blush. They are a little lighter than I expected. Like seeing everybody swatching them and, you know, seeing them in videos and in photos, they're lighter than I thought. Do you think it would work for multiple skin tones? I mean, I'm guessing. I haven't actually swatched it yet. This shade is very, very light. It's beautiful. Well, this is a good size and you get 0.30 ounces. This is such a small space, right? Can you see my finger here? It's such a small space to try to fit a brush into and then apply that as a blush. We're just going to mix them all together and kind of see how that looks on the cheeks. I have not touched up my makeup. I'm wearing the Lawless, the new Lawless foundation. Trying that out today for the first time. I don't know what to think. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's so pretty. So I'm just kind of mixing into trying to get all three of them. That is such a pretty, bright, like corally shade. I think I've got like way too much on. I got carried away. It's okay. We want it kind of built up so you can see it. I'm going a little ham. It's very matte. Yeah, it's more matte than my foundation. I don't mind a matte blush. I think a matte blush is very flattering. Doesn't enhance any texture. I like glowy blushes too, but this is really pretty. It's so pretty that I went a little crazy. I'm going to do my lips. This is the Isabella lip balm in red. If you saw my first video, you'll know why I'm laughing, because that one I had bought a lip balm, the same line. It wasn't the metallics, it's just the lip balm, and it had like zero color payoff whatsoever. I had ordered another one in red, and it's like full pigment, stained my lips. This will cover it up because this is like a liquid lipstick formula. This is a shade Pink Nude. But yeah, you can see it covers up the red staining on the inside of my lips. That's so pretty. That's so pretty. I love that. It's deeper than a nude on me, which is what I wanted. I wanted something with some impact, right, to go with this look. So I'm going to let that dry down, and then we'll go over it with the gloss. Right now, I want to get into the eyeshadows. I have been stalking websites trying to see when it's going to come out, and it's not. And so I saw that everybody was getting them at the Chanel boutique. You know the story. I do have one, and I was able to get it. It comes in the standard Chanel velvet pouch. And let me open her up. I love a nice clean compact with no fingerprints. It won't stay like that for long. I took out the sponges. The sponge applicators, just because I wanted you to be able to see those colors. They're so pretty. This color right here, I don't even know if I'm going to get any use out of, but the associate in the store had this in her crease, and then she had the purple on her lid. She had a gorgeous eye look on. So I might try that, but I'm going to get some swatches. Oh, I'm ruining it. I'm ruining the eyeshadow. It's so sad. Okay, so like I already destroyed the eyeshadows by just swatching them. That's kind of a bummer. This is the pink, obviously. This is the white in the top right. This is the duochrome. And this is the taupey shade in the bottom corner. I also picked up the eye pencil in Mauve Chrome. And this did not look super pigmented to me. We're going to start with the taupey shade. I'm just going to take a really fluffy brush and kind of put this in the crease and see how it works. Blends out beautifully. It doesn't look like ultra shimmery, and it doesn't seem to have a shift. Standard eyeshadow, I'm going to pack it on the lid, like on the outer corner. See what it does on the eyelid. When you use your finger, you see a really nice wet look sheen. I'm going to go in with the duochrome all over the lid and see if it pulls super pink on me. Look at my eyeshadows just from swatching them. Like, they look ruined. They look destroyed. Surprisingly, that doesn't look pink. It's got that blue shift that is absolutely beautiful, that drew me to it, that made me want to rush out and buy it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad it is not pulling pink on me. Pink on my brown eyes. That's not a good look. It doesn't look great. Makes me look kind of thick. It's like quite thin. I wouldn't say a topper shade. There's not a lot of base pigment to it, which is fine. After we use the rest of the shades, I'm going to use this underneath, tap this duochrome on top, and see what that does. I'm going to go in with this pink very lightly with a very fluffy brush into the crease. Okay, so if you noticed that I was missing a nail, no, you didn't. That didn't happen. What are you talking about? I didn't really think to do this until I saw Sales Associates eye look, and it was so beautiful. It kind of added like a little bit of warmth. Just because I was like, I'll never use that pink. And then she was like, oh my gosh, I have it in the crease. And I was like, oh my gosh, that looks beautiful. So that is what we're doing. And it is beautiful. I'm loving this eyeshadow palette, this tiny little eyeshadow palette. It's beautiful. I did just go try to remove the red off my lips. Again, it's not going anywhere. I used makeup remover. It wasn't happening. So I'm just going to put this back on and cover that up. And it does cover it right up. I'm going to use the white shade as an inner corner highlight. Hopefully it feels, that shade right there felt very flaky. It's not a super smooth shadow. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, it's not doing much. It's a very soft shade, like softly pigmented. I think you can even see it in the palette, like all around here where it's a little chunky. It's not my favorite. Swatched, it doesn't look super chunky. You can smooth out those flakes. There's just not much to that shade, if I'm being honest. I do think this palette is beautiful, but that shade is slightly disappointing. You can kind of see on my finger here, it's just like a sheen, like a topper. I really tried to build that up on the inner corner and like nothing. Nothing was happening. So we have all 4 shades on our eyes. I'm going to take this contour stylo in the mauve chrome shade. It's not super pigmented, but it's a really pretty shade. I think for what I have in mind, it's going to be fine. I'm going to put that under the lash line. This is the only one that's disappointing me, the white one, just because there's not much to it. Even if you were to use that as a topper shade, it's not giving much. It's not giving much at all. But the other 3 shades are beautiful. Try to wipe off the eyeshadow just off my lid, and we're going to go in with this and try to put the duochrome on top of it, see how that looks. So I did get most of the eyeshadow off all over the lid. I'm just going to scribble it on kind of haphazardly. That's really pretty just by itself. I mean, that's a really pretty shade. I love these light purples, light mint greens on brown eyes. I think they're so pretty. I do have another Chanel video up where I did like a spring look with a mint green eye, and I loved it. Okay, so we are going to tap on this duochrome and see if some magic happens. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of that. It really brings out like the blue, purpley blue in this duochrome, triochrome, whatever it is. It's got multicolors. That is so pretty. Okay, I do have a tiny bit of fallout under one eye. I'm going to try to sweep it away. Swept right away. Very easy to clean up. I'm going to put on the gloss, the clear gloss on this liquid lip. That feels much nicer with a gloss on top of it. Without the gloss, it's quite sticky. That's one of the reasons why I don't like liquid lipsticks, is because they can get quite sticky. And I don't love that. I'm going to try to get better swatches of these shades on my hand. They're not super pigmented. You really have to build them up to get the swatches to show. This taupey shade is really pretty. I don't know if you can see that one by itself. It's really, really nice. It's just a bit of purple to it, so it kind of ties it all in. You know what I mean? It's really, really nice. This is the pink. Next is the white, and then the multi-chrome, and then the taupe shade. Surprisingly, in my opinion, they perform better on the eyes. So I'm going to do eyeliner and some mascara, and then we're going to talk thoughts on these products. I'll be right back. My hair. I'm having a really bad hair day. I was really not planning to film today, but then the Chanel boutique thing happened, and I'm like, I gotta show these products right away. I'm going to use my Nars eyeliner and do a wing. All right, I'm back. I did a wing liner and mascara just because that's how I'm most comfortable. I love a wing liner. What can I say? Starting with the blush. The blush is absolutely beautiful. Zero complaints about the blush. I love that there are 3 shades. I mean, I think that you can kind of go for like a lighter pinky look if you try to stay up top. Maybe a little bit deeper, warmer look if you stay down toward the bottom. It's such a pretty color. That is a blush. All 3 of them squirreled. Squirrel. All 3 of them swirled together. I don't know if it's a blush shade that's going to work for everybody, but I think it would work for a lot of people. And I do think you could probably build it up to be more intense. I have it pretty intensely on my cheeks right here, but I do think you could get it even more intense. I'm very happy with this, and you do get a lot of product in here. I think it would be difficult to get just one color. It's not a huge pan. It's bigger than some blushes, but it's not as big as I thought it would be. It's a blush, not a palette. They call it a blush trio. That's true. You get 3 blushes in here. I think most people are going to use them all swirled together, and I think swirled together, it's such a pretty shade. It's so bright, so punchy, like a really brightening, vibrant cheek look. I think it wakes up the face. It's got a sheer base, so I think that makes it a little more versatile. It does have that classic Chanel scent, and the eyeshadow palette I've destroyed it just using it this one time. Ugh. But that was me trying to dig in it to get swatches. They're so sheer. There's not a lot to them as far as base color goes. They're very sheer, very buildable, but very sheer. Having said that, even though they're sheer, they're so pretty on the eyes. And because they're sheer and they don't have a lot of base pigment, I do think they would work for so many skin tones. The associate in the Chanel store had a deep skin tone, and she had this quad on with this underneath, you know, kind of like I have now. It was so stunning on her. It looked beautiful. So I do think that this will work for multiple skin tones because of the fact that the shades are mostly sheer. And even this pink shade, when seeing this palette, I was like, that's the shade I'm not going to use. The crease, like she had it. I mean, this is all inspired by her. It's really pretty. It gives it almost a bit of warmth and just kind of ties it to the cheek color and the lips. She's so much smarter than me because I would have never thought to do that. I would have shown you this palette and used 3 colors and said, oh, that's really pretty, but not for me. However, because of her, I was able to incorporate all 4 colors. So I'm very happy about that because that means I'm going to use every single color in this palette. And, you know, thank goodness because it's not cheap. Chanel's spring release and summer release have just sucked me in. They're not just pastels. They have something different to them. The eyes do have that kind of holographic look that's very popular this year. I didn't get the highlighter. I kind of wanted to. I should have. I'm not really a highlighter person, especially something liquidy like that. I'm so afraid that I would just put it on. It would eat through everything else. So I skipped that. The 4 items that I purchased from this collection hits. 2 thumbs up from me. I absolutely love them. Chanel's eyeshadow formula performs beautifully on mature skin because it is on the thinner side. It's not a super thick, dense, heavily pigmented eyeshadow like Viseart or Natasha Denona. Those are so physically thick because they are so creamy and so pigmented, so buttery that for me, sometimes when I smooth those on the lids, it enhances any eye texture or it creates texture where there may be none. I hope you can see how these sit on the eyes. Very close to the skin. They just blend in and kind of become one with the skin and don't look like they're sitting on top of it. Very sophisticated glitter. It almost reminds me of like a Tom Ford glitter when Tom Ford was amazing. Tom Ford might be amazing again. I've not tried a Tom Ford palette in years because I just was tired of being disappointed by them. Chanel palette is a hit. The Chanel blush is a hit. The lipstick, this is the first time I've tried this formula because I'm not really a liquid lipstick fan. I'm talking about the liquid lipsticks that dry down and like adhere to the lips and you can't remove them. I've never been a fan of those because they do feel sticky, they can feel dry. This kind of solves all of that. Now, I will tell you, when I first put this on and hadn't topped it with a gloss yet, I did feel like, ooh, this is that sticky, heavy liquid lipstick. It feels too heavy on my lips. I can feel it. I did not like it when I first put this on. Everybody that loves this cannot be wrong, right? There's just no way that many people are wrong about this formula, and they're not. They're not. Now that I have the gloss on it, it just feels like a normal lipstick or lip gloss. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel goopy. It's not sticky. It's a beautiful color. And it lasts. I had to take a break during filming because somebody came over when I was trying to remove the red stain from my lips to try to reapply this lipstick. I could not get it off. It was so difficult to remove that. And of course, the stain underneath it. But even washing it off of my hand was difficult. You're locked in with this. This is going to last you all day. I'm excited to use this summer. I'm glad I gave this formula a shot. I do think this color is very versatile. It's going to go with so many different things. Really, really pretty shade. Really, really comfortable, nice formula. Mauve Chrome. I seriously only bought this because of how beautiful the sales associates' eyes looked. This was not on my radar. I even played with it in the store, played with all of them in the store, and I was just like, it's so sheer. It's so sheer. And let me see if I can build it up. You can kind of build it up. It's got something when you build it up. It's not super, super pigmented, but again, I'm not really upset about that because it does look so smoothing and seamless on the eyes. It's not like accentuating any crepiness or creating any crepiness. It doesn't feel sticky. Sometimes eyeshadow sticks, you put them on, you can feel them, you know, and it almost feels like a film on your eyelids. That's why I'm really not a fan of eyeshadow sticks. I love the Victoria Beckham ones because they don't do that. This doesn't do that. I've never tried this formula either because, like I said, I've swatched them in stores, never really been impressed by them. But this shade with this eyeshadow palette, this combination right here is everything to me. It's worth it. I do not regret picking this up. I love this. I will be wearing this. This and that green Chanel eyeshadow are going to be my go-to spring and summer eyeshadows. I just love them. There have been so many eyeshadows that have come out. There's the Victoria Beckham, the Tom Ford, the Charlotte Tilbury. I know I'm missing something. I got a couple of the Victoria Beckham palettes. I got a couple of the Charlotte Tilbury palettes. They're really nice. I'm going to do a video on those really soon because they are actually really, really pretty. I did not get the Tom Ford eyeshadows. All of these palettes, Victoria Beckham, Tom Ford, the Charlotte Tilbury, they look kind of fall to me, right? Like those shades look like fall releases, not spring summer. The Chanel releases scream spring summer to me. So that's why I'm kind of enwrapped with them right now. I'm a little biased towards the Chanel eyeshadows because to me they look more spring summer appropriate. I really like these kind of tones on my eyes in the spring and summer. It just kind of brightens everything, lifts your face. Just posted a video recently with the spring Chanel eyeshadow, the mint green eyeshadow in the Rouge Cocoa Bomb. Tender Peach is part of this collection too. Like it could go great with this. It really would. It would look super pretty with this. But I'm very happy to like mix and match all of those things. This blush is very like pinky coral. And then the blush that I got from the spring collection, it's really not part of the spring collection, but it goes with that, is very peachy. I am loving Chanel this season. The eyeshadows don't swatch very well. I am like digging in here. I have totally destroyed my palette. It's fine. It's fine. Just know that if you buy this and you start like swatching away and using it, it's going to get pretty rough pretty quick. I'm fine with it, but I do just want to mention that. Yeah, it's destroyed. So here are swatches of everything that we put on our face today. This is the pink eyeshadow, obviously. This is the white shade. There's just not much to it. It's not my super favorite. This is the duochrome or multichrome, really, because it looks so different depending on what it's next to, what light you're in. And here in these studio lights, to me, it looks very pink. When I was in the Chanel boutique, it looked very pink. However, it's blue and beige. It doesn't look pink on my eyes. This is the taupey shade. The taupey shade is more of a satin. It has a sheen to it, but it's not super metallic. It's got quite a bit of base pigment to it. I use that just kind of in my crease and in my outer corner. Really, really pretty. This is the blush. This is all of those shades mixed together in the blush, which is really how I would use it. Here they are swirled together. Here's the top shade, here's the middle shade, and here's the bottom shade. All mixed together is my favorite. And that's how I have it on my face today. The mauve chrome. It's not super pigmented, but it is enough. This is the lipstick. So pretty. That is in pink nude. So I know that sometimes some of the swatches that I have seen have made them look much more pigmented. They're not. If you build them up, you know, for a swatch or whatever, so you can see the color, I totally get that, but I don't want you going into this thinking that these are super intense colors because they're not. That concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. Please remember to give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.